Mindset fam, welcome back to your favorite podcast with your favorite girls here.
Okay.
We are ready to just talk it out with you guys. There's been a lot that's been going on, and we just are excited to jump on in there.
Okay, girl. Jump on in then. Don't drown. Y'all, Cassie's gonna be tired of me by the end of this episode. She's already tired of me, and we're just starting. So we're just gonna go ahead and just jump on into the latest tea. So about y'all running candidate here for Presidente, Mr. Trump himself being shot at, or I guess technically shot because he was grazed.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So what's up with that? Talk to me about that. Because you just randomly text me one day and I'm like, what the what?
I'm just like mind blown by the entire situation because like one, we're in 2024 here. So like since when do we like assassinate presidents? Like we don't do that. We don't try to do that. Like we're not here for violence. Like you might not agree with people and whatever, but like that's just not the way to go about it. Whether you like him, don't like him, whatever the situation is, like just like why? Like I feel like we all need so many answers in regards to like what happened, and there's so many things going around right now about this incident. And I just find it so mind-boggling personally and like very hard to like wrap my head around all like the different conspiracies and thoughts and views stuff about this.
A bunch.
And I'm like,
there's a lot.
There is. And I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get why somebody would do this. One. And then two, I also don't understand why people think that like this was a staged event, because then like why would you stage something like that? Okay, yes, like the clout and, you know, increased votes and like whatever.
Oh,
like
I
get that to an extent, but like it's a little extreme to go ahead and stage that for this like, I don't know, electoral gain. Like I don't know. I find it so hard to wrap my head around that like that's even a possibility. And like I'm seeing all these things come out, and then you send me this video about them seeing the alleged shooter on like the roof of some building in like the area, and like why they weren't shooting him like quick enough or whatever. I don't like. I'm struggling here. Help me out.
Yeah. For one, I think I just don't have enough of an opinion around the situation to have like genuine feelings behind it, because I just don't give a like I just don't care.
Yeah, well, not maybe your like opinion on like if you think it's staged or not staged, but just more of kind of like, I don't know.
It's just wild. It just doesn't make any sense. It's just aside from unnecessary as many shootings are, right? It just doesn't make sense because I can understand why people, come up with different schemes and stories as to being scripted, because it's just like, how is someone of such power, even though they are not a current president, but they are a former president, how is that person in such a vulnerable state where they're able to be grazed like that? I do find stuff like that to be questionable, because everywhere you go, these people are, they have some sort of security, which is funny because it's just apparently different celebs or people of high statuses in different places have been having issues with their security, like Rick Ross, for example. So,
you might have to go into that one a little bit. What do you mean?
I don't have a huge amount of detail, but I'll spill a little on that. Issues. But yeah, so it just doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, it's just random, super random, doesn't make sense. The video that I sent you was, talking about the alleged shooter or whatever, and it's just like, the video was just pretty much saying like how they took down this ad that kid was in, and it's like this 20-year-old person who's the alleged shooter for this situation, and it's just like, y'all was able to figure that out real fast, like go find this ad that this person's in, but you couldn't handle the situation at hand appropriately when people are supposed to be skilled and trained to do so.
Yeah. I mean, I do think though that it was handled somewhat quickly because I want to say
Mm-hmm.
he was neutralized like before Trump got off stage.
Yeah.
So
uh, I don't know. I find it crazy. I literally say this is exactly why I couldn't be a part of no Secret Service or security for people, because I'm really not putting myself out there to get shot before you. Like, that's why I'm not in that job. That's why I'm here podcasting with you, because I'm not doing that shit. And it's just like, it grazed his ear and he's just like, yeah, I'm good. Like,
yeah, like I don't know. I feel like that was kind of like a weird reaction. Like, why are you not more
yeah,
in shock? But then I'm kind of like, that's just like Trump. That's who he is. Like that
nonchalant
just
AF.
kind of like that moment just described everything about who that man is, in my
Mm-hmm.
opinion. And I don't know. It's just all very weird and just all very so interesting. And
Yeah.
I don't get
You
it.
can't tell him shit. You can't tell him shit. It's
No,
like
you
he
can't.
probably has like a one of those like god like angelic halos around himself. That's probably how he pictured himself, like realizing he's been grazed by a bullet and he made it through the moment. He's just like, yeah. Like, I'm running for president. I, have, was it 34 felonies or whatever the case may be, charges or whatever. I don't know. But it's just like he has all this stuff. So it's just like, great. Another thing for him to fucking hype himself up off on. Great. Okay.
Well, yeah. And then you see
So,
everyone like not comparing him to, but there's like a whole thing going on now with like him and like 50 Cent and
yes, the pictures of Trump's head posted on 50's body, and
yes, like
something just to, in my opinion, something to keep the people distracted from some real shit that's actually happening in life.
I
It's
mean,
just
it
what it
could be
is.
because, like, it's just all weird to me because, like, why are we gassing up the fact that, like, now Trump has, like, all this, like, street cred for getting shot at? Like,
Right.
I don't understand. And I don't know. My mind is
Mm-hmm.
just so shot. And I've been talking to my boyfriend about this, like, nonstop since it happened. And, like, we just have so differing, like, views and opinions on
Mm-hmm.
everything and, like, trying to, like, understand each other.
Yeah.
Like, my mind is just, like, so blown. Like, I just.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't have a lot to give on that situation because it's just stupid.
It's
Just
crazy.
so
Because then it's like,
stupid.
okay, say you staged it, right? To get like higher votes. Because
Mm-hmm.
maybe you were trailing or whatever. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But then it's like, if that's true and people actually believed this, then why would those people who believed it was staged want to vote for you? Because what kind of a president or man are you to actually like carry through something like this? Like, do we want you to be running our country? You know?
He put his life on the line, man, for his people. Are you kidding me? He put his life on the line.
Yeah, God is. I mean, I guess
He
if that's how you
follows
put it.
and see things through. He sees things through. If that was scripted, he went all the way through it. He went all the way through and even allowed his ear to be grazed. Would you not want a president that can see things? See things through. I can't even say this seriously, guys. I can't.
I mean, you kind of have a slightly compelling argument there because I really just don't understand how the shooter would have missed because the way he was angled and the amount of like time the person had and how many
Mm-hmm.
shots came out, like just how did you miss? But if he really is a 20-year-old like kid, like okay, maybe, but
Mm. Yeah, they
oh,
said supposedly in the video that they were scaring him a bit by seeing him and yelling to him, if that's actually the situation. I don't
oh, see,
know.
that I didn't hear. That's an interesting
Yeah.
perspective because it's alleged that
Supposedly.
people did see him there. But
Hmm.
then it's like for him to still carry it out, that was a little like,
Right. And where were they? Because I'm sure somebody else had a gun of their own that they probably could have shot him with or something. No?
knowing Trump
Because
supporters, I would say,
but that you, I'm just saying, like, because like he has a fan base like no other, which I
mhm,
still don't understand, but he has a fan base like no other. And, people ran up at the White House.
yeah,
So if this is a true situation, why didn't nobody go for that kid?
right.
If,
They're not defending
the
each other.
alleged person in the video, right? So I don't
Yeah.
know. It's just interesting. But I also am just curious as to, like, Biden moves much slower than Trump. How come they didn't go for him? I'm just curious, like how is Trump the first one to be
But I
shot
think
at between the
because
two of them?
people just don't like Biden because he's old, but like Trump is so controversial and lies
He
about
is
everything. So, and
super.
he's
He's
made
so
so many
entertaining.
people mad. Like, why do you think he has a felony? Like,
You're right. He's
he's
so
just
entertaining though.
pissed off way too many people. So, I
I
just
don't
don't
know,
know.
girl.
I mean, I'm just glad that
It's
he's like okay because that would have been wild to like
that
see
yeah,
that go the
that
other way. So,
that's a fact.
I just don't know. It's just so mind blowing to me. I just can't get over it.
You better
Like,
not knock his security up a notch. That's what I know.
yeah, because
Because
even like
someone sees like
taking
that's
so long.
easy.
Yeah, that's true. You never know
Yeah.
until you're, in the
Mm-hmm.
situation, and you don't necessarily want to like whisk them off the stage really quickly because you don't know at in that
What else is
moment like
coming?
what's happening. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. There's just so many things, and I'm going to be very interested to hear the next time that like he has a speech because I don't think we've heard from him since all this has happened so far.
All right, check
So
his Twitter.
I don't think he has Twitter anymore. I
Oh,
think he
yeah,
got
I don't
blocked.
think he,
Yeah.
I think he's not on there anymore. You're right.
So, but I mean, as far as like making any kind of like statement, or I think he has some social media platform that he created or some shit that he uses.
Oh my
Um,
gosh.
but I'm
A
just so
Finsta.
interested, yeah, to see like what his comments are, like his first comments after this
Oh
event.
my gosh. I know you gonna be in the damn group chat like, did y'all see this? Like,
I know y'all heard me during the debate.
oh my goodness.
I
I'm
just
like,
find it so interesting.
I won't even have to keep an eye out. Cassie's gonna keep me posted automatically because she just be like typing them keys
Yes,
so damn fast.
I'm very intrigued. I'll
Yeah,
say
we
that.
noticed. We noticed, but no, just real quick, nothing that I actually have true detail on. But apparently there was a situation with Rick Ross. And I want to say he was in Canada. I don't know if he was like in the Toronto area or not, but I want to say he was in Canada and like actually got into an altercation with, I wouldn't say a fan, but just like a non-celeb person. Because
Yeah.
if he's in an altercation, I'm pretty sure it's not his fan. So, but yeah, apparently like his security, I didn't see the video. My man was watching it, so he was somewhat giving me the play-by-plays as he was fascinated by how this person got past the security. So apparently Ricky Ross supposedly got a little beat up his own self because of his security not being secure enough. So
Interesting.
yeah, I don't know. So
They gotta train these people the right way. Clearly, they're not trained.
listen. So that's just a drop of tea we have over here for y'all. But what I actually want to know is how the hell is your summer going so far? Because this summer has started off very spring-like and it's become very humid and it just feels like it's passing by too quickly and isn't fun enough for me.
It's not fun enough for you. Well, then we got to get something going here to make it more fun. 'Cause we
Yes.
had a conversation a month ago or a couple months ago now, and we haven't picked it back up. So
Right.
we're gonna have to pick that conversation back up so we can do something fun this summer because that's what I'm currently looking at.
Okay.
But I would say, I don't know. Would I say that I've had an enjoyable summer so far? Maybe a little bit of yes and no because I don't
Okay.
really know like what an enjoyable summer would look like for me necessarily. So I just kind of like been
I can't
enjoying
stand you.
things in the moment, and like I've been going to like the pool a lot and stuff, which is,
A
not
must, a
bad.
summer
So
must,
yeah, um,
a requirement, especially if you have a pool, like you need to be at the pool. And I'm
that's
saying that because I have a pool and I have not been
you
at the
better
pool.
go
the,
get it together.
the pump is down or whatever.
Uh-huh. But I mean, aside from that, I don't really know. Well, I went into the city for the 4th of July, but
Mm-hmm.
I work there, so it's just kind of like,
Another day in the
I don't know.
city.
Yeah, like I
Roll with
haven't really done
fireworks.
anything like super special, I would say. I don't even think I've been to like a fair yet.
No?
I don't know. I don't think
Wait,
so.
I haven't either, so let me not even act like I almost went to a fair, but plans
Mhm.
changed, so I didn't go. But we even had just recently had the Sail Fest in the area, and I
Mm,
had absolutely no interest in being there. Like it's just,
no.
I don't know. It's just something about being in this area is just so unthrilling, and I think maybe because it's it's just because, you know, you're going to see a lot of the same people over and over again. So it's just like,
Mhm.
oh, there's so and so. I see them every time I go somewhere out here. You know, it's
Yeah.
just,
Some people like that though.
yeah, I don't care for it. I think like I've just been here long enough. I've seen enough of the
Mhm.
same faces, and it's just like, oh, we're gonna go downtown to Sailfest and have the same thing, a bunch of vendors with food that I cannot eat, and just
Yeah.
to walk around, and hopefully no one acts up and, you know, shoot somebody else while we're out here, because that's the annoying thing too, is like no one wants to really be in crowds anymore. It's just
Hmm.
because it's just so unsafe and people are just so wild. I mean, god dog, Trump just got shot in the ear. You know, it's just like,
It's crazy.
can you imagine what would happen in a crowd, you know? So
Yeah, I
it's
don't
just,
know.
it hasn't been like a fun and poppin' summer like I would like for it to be. You know, I have
What does that mean for you though? Like,
fun and poppin', working less for one, and spending
well,
way
aside from
more
that.
way more time outside, like just being able to
Mm,
be outside, whether it's chilling at the park or sitting and dining outside somewhere at a
mm,
restaurant,
gotcha.
just doing different outdoor activities more so,
Hmm.
just to be able to enjoy the sunshine. So, you know, we went to the beach for my man's birthday, which
Hmm.
was crazy because we literally went to two different beaches
Yeah.
because the first beach was too cold.
Oh, how is that
Right.
possible? Wasn't that just
Right.
like,
It, see, makes no sense.
huh.
Because the first beach we went to, it actually was very windy. So it rained that morning, but by the time we went, the rain has been gone. But it was just really windy, and we're right on the water, so we sat at the
Oh,
restaurant at the beach,
mm,
and super super windy, so it was just like god damn, like the amount of wind coming off the water made it feel so much cooler than it actually was outside.
gotcha.
And it was cloudy, but then we literally drove pretty much back home because this was about like 30 minutes away. We
Hmm.
drove back home and it's sunny and way warmer at the beach down the street from the
Oh
house.
man. Yeah.
So, you know, we ended up just chilling there instead, but it's just like, god damn, like I'm trying to do a little bit of the summer fun, but it ain't just letting me have it easily. Like I'm
Gosh.
working for this right now. I'm working for some
Oh
summer
boy.
fun.
We got to go during these damn heat waves because it's been insane. So
Apparently, yeah, the humidity's been wild, so
it definitely
wild,
has.
you know.
Hmm.
But one thing I wanted to actually ask you,
Oh.
because it was a conversation he and I had when we were out on our beach day, and it was just
Mm.
like super random, where it's like, when did you have your first drink? Like your first alcoholic drink?
Oh God. Um, that is a great question. I was probably in maybe high school.
Mm-hmm.
High school, maybe. I don't know. And I feel like it was like a Mike's Hard Lemonade.
Okay, Mike's Hard,
Now that like I'm thinking about it, I think
like
so.
a wine cooler kind of vibe-ish.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing like hard or nothing crazy.
Right,
Definitely nothing crazy.
right.
But I want to say it was something like that, like a Mike's Hard Lemonade.
Mm-hmm. It's funny because I originally thought, like, I always remember this one year, my cousin and I, we got stupid drunk off of this homemade wine for New Year's one year.
Oh God.
Like wild. Just ridiculous. But I honestly, and that was in high school. Like I like
Oh.
vividly remember like that night.
Mm-hmm.
But
Oh God.
like that was crazy. But I feel like before that, like, you know, my mom was someone who would drink like Baileys, so I always wanted to ask if I could get like a little sip off of her cup, or just wait for her to put her cup down so I could see what it tastes like, because it never like actually looked like alcohol. It always looked like
Mhm.
dessert,
Right,
essentially,
right.
you know,
Yeah.
like dessert in a
That's
cup.
like dessert.
Yeah, so I would probably say in like middle school I probably like took a little sip off her cup without her knowing, just to see what that tastes like. But
Oh my God. That just reminded me. I lied. My first drink was not a Mike's Hard Lemonade.
this bitch is lying.
I don't know why you saying that just like totally like popped this in my memory, and it should have happened when you said wine, but it
Mm-hmm.
didn't work.
Wine
So
coolers.
no, I was definitely in. It had to have been like fifth grade,
No
like
way.
super young, like elementary, like maybe going into middle school, maybe middle school. I'm trying to think of like when I talked to the person that I was with.
Oh my gosh.
We stopped being friends at some point for, you know, whatever reason, just kind of like broke apart.
Yep.
So it had to have been sometime
Around
late
then?
elementary, early middle school, something like that.
Okay.
There was like these like little teeny tiny like little vials that we had, and we somehow, I don't remember details, whatever, but like we filled them with wine that
Oh
my friend's
my
parents had.
gosh.
And we tried drinking them, and it was little red wine things, and I thought it was the most disgusting thing I had ever had in the world. And I
That
remember
is
that's like
hilarious.
one of the main reasons up until maybe like a couple of years ago, I actually started drinking red wine again because I just thought it was like awful. And I
Wow.
always remember that from, you know, whatever that happened. So it's funny that I'm just now, it's like jogging
Piecing
my
it all
memory.
together.
Yeah.
Wow. Damn, Grace started early. No.
Yeah.
Damn, well, if you don't like something, she sure as hell knows how to stay away from it because, you know, you're well into the years of being able to drink legally and was like,
Yeah.
nope, I'm all set.
Yeah, no, I never wanted it after that. It was like straight like white wine for me.
Oh, wow.
So
Wow.
yeah.
So we would say wine was your first, your true first, and then Mike's Hard. I remember the Mike's Hards back in the day. Those
Yeah. Sort of
used to
like
be the
those and like
ish.
the Smirnoff ices and stuff. Like I feel like my
Mm-hmm.
mom would get some like Smirnoff ices just for us to have like around the house. Like
Right.
very, very rare, once in a blue moon,
Right. It's
like
not like,
high
hey, we're having
school.
dinner. Let's go get a drink.
Yeah. And like just putting out there, mama, don't
Right.
kill me. But yeah, just like very minor. Like I don't think I had hard liquor until, you know, some of us were together and we
Mm-hmm.
started straight off the bat. I don't remember if it was Hennessy or E&J, but
E
it
and
was one of those
J. It
two.
was freaking E and J. I was just about to say that because that shit is so gross. And I'm like you in your wine situation. I will not drink E and J to this day because
No.
I've had enough sips of what we had of it and it just tastes gross. And I feel the same way about Hennessy, to be quite honest. Like
Yeah.
I know people love Henny, like Henny, and it's just like
Mm.
Henny,
Yeah. We might
like
have just had too much of it.
you know, and it's not even, I don't know, I think it's just one of those because I've always been someone who's like a social drinker, so I just
Mm.
kind of like vibe with the crowd, right? Like I just kind
Sure.
of just go with the flow. I mean, that's what happened with the Patron situation. I just went with the flow and things just ugh. So yeah, so E&J was definitely the like high school first hard liquor that has
Mm-hmm.
ever really gone down in town.
Yeah,
But what would
same.
you say was kind of like your go-to drink when you became the legal drinking age, or even college, because we know like us people in
Girl,
college was not of age drinking alcohol. So
you should remember what my favorite drink of choice was.
this is for the people, this is not for me, I know, but this is for the people.
Oh man. So this in particular drink, I have definitely had enough of in my lifetime because I'm just not interested in drinking this anymore. And God only knows my crazy ass back in the day and my little thoughts on whatever. But
Sorry.
it used to be Goldschlager.
Ah,
That nice cinnamon vodka with some gold flakes flying around
freaking gold
inside.
flakes slitting your throat open.
I would say, you know, that would definitely be my go-to drink in
Oh
college
my
for
gosh.
sure.
And then was it the raspberry
I
was it
don't really
raspberry
feel like I
smeared?
had that much. Okay, maybe I just
Oh,
traumatized y'all too much
probably. I
because
cannot stand raspberry
you and
flavor
my
stuff
man be
either.
like,
So,
that stuff was
cause that
awful.
raspberry flavor is like, oh, like why would
No,
you
it
pick
was
that?
great because it tasted like a Jolly Rancher.
Ugh, yeah,
Mix that with a
no,
little cranberry juice.
yo,
You're welcome.
oh my gosh, yo.
Try it.
We're gonna take a hard pass. We're gonna put that in the category with the red wine and the E&J right now. So
Well, we
bye bye
definitely need to
raspberry.
because I think the last time I ever drank that was when I was at your house.
Oh my gosh.
And
We're not
that's
gonna
all
go
I'm
into that
gonna
story,
say
guys.
about that. So,
We're not gonna
what
go into
was
that.
your college drink of choice?
To be honest with you, I even speaking with my man, I don't fully remember like my college drink of choice because again, just I'm gonna go with the flow. Whatever y'all drinking, I'll drink.
Right, right.
So I do remember like more so like when I became the legal drinking age and was like going to the bars,
Mm-hmm.
it was a mix of different things I would drink, like Sex on the Beach, and sometimes I'd have a Long Island, depending on if I'm feeling cheap and want to get drunk real quick, you know, like it's one of those like, what's that bank account looking like, and what are we sipping
Mm-hmm.
on?
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like that was more of my beginning days. Even like Jose Cuervo for
Mm-hmm.
tequila, I was for the long man. Like even when I had a man, Jose was my man because I was drinking the Cuervo. And it was it like gold, not the silver one or whatever. So
Mm,
yeah, but
gotcha.
yeah, that was kind of like my go-to there. But I was typically DD, so
Mm.
I never really got too deep into whatever I was drinking because I just knew I was going to be the one driving, and
Yeah,
you
I feel
know,
like you were definitely not like one of the crazy ones.
no,
You didn't
no.
really like drinking too much.
Yeah,
Is
no,
what
I
I've
didn't.
heard.
Cause you always feel crappy afterwards. It's just like my insides don't feel great after I did all that, you know, and it's just like,
Yeah.
me and my reflecting the next day, reflecting about the night before, and it's just like,
Yes,
ugh.
that hasn't changed.
Right, exactly. But yeah, so I would say I jumped into like the Jose, did Patron, had the Patron little phase. And then the Ciroc was a thing for a while, the Ciroc berry.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I feel like that was a decent little phase, but I think in the early drinking years, it was just like some kind of mixed drink or beer. Like that's just
Yeah. Well, and just kind of like whatever you can really get your hands on.
seriously, it's just like I'll just have what they're having. And it's just like, do you know what they're having? No, but it looked good, so we're just gonna go for it.
Right, right. But
Like,
I feel like
okay.
the worst drinks, since we're kind of talking about like our favorites and whatever, I would
Mm-hmm.
feel like some of the worst drinks that like used to be like such a staple and like I could just never get on the same page was the amaretto sours and like no,
Those aren't
yeah,
bad.
amaretto sours and then like whiskey sours. I feel like were just like two of like the popular things, and
Mm-hmm.
I just no, just
That was my
no,
sister's drink.
no.
Amaretto
Hated
sour.
everything about it. So
Yeah.
nasty.
Yeah, I've come to grow in my life to become like more of a clears versus the browns type
Mm.
of, I don't know, something about them browns that just, probably because it's that E&J had me partially traumatized. I
Oh
just
man,
can't do it.
just get Amanda all the tequila and she'll be
No, tequila though is like literally my go-to. Like I would say, just kind of transitioning through all the years, that where I am now is just get me a nice fresh mint mojito. Like that is like my, like, because it's refreshing and it doesn't, like, I know I'm drinking alcohol, but it doesn't feel like it. I don't feel yucky after. I'm gonna actually relax and feel pretty damn good. And there's mint in here. Like, who doesn't like a little fresh mint?
can't with
But
you.
it's so hard to go somewhere to get a good mint mojito because
Oh
it's not everywhere you go. Like it's just
yeah, and if it is, it's not fresh. It's like
right. They don't know what the hell they're doing or so. But I
yeah,
would say transitioning through the years, I've become a mint mojito. Plan B is a margarita because at that point you kind of can't fuck that up. So
you definitely can. I feel like
I
I make
just try to
prime
speak
margaritas. We
optimistically.
put way too much sour mix in those things, and oh god,
Mine
turns
lately,
my
knock on
stomach.
wood, they have been pretty good. So that's why I had to get the
That's
other day
good.
at the beach because they're like, we don't make mojitos. And I'm like, what type of establishment is this? No.
I think I might have only had like one mojito my entire life.
Girl, listen, girl and the world. I'm gonna tell y'all right now. I don't know if it's still a place. I'm gonna have to look it up and see.
Mm,
But years ago, my man and I went to Puerto Rico, and
mm,
it was just like a short, like 4-day trip or something.
mm-hmm.
And we went to Old San Juan, and we were just walking around, and we were literally just walking down. Like, it, for one, it's beautiful there if you've never been. It's so
No.
nice. Old
Mm,
San Juan, like just the buildings and just it's so colorful. So we're walking down the street and we just find this hole in the wall spot, like this little hole in the wall bar,
mm-hmm.
and it's called Booties. And this restaurant had some banging ass food, but they had $4 mojitos. So that is actually what put me
Okay.
on to mojitos. But when I tell you, I was $4 mojitos. Like,
One down there, I'm sure they're definitely fresh. So,
yo, listen, I haven't had a mojito as good since then. But
probably not.
yeah, if you ever go to Puerto Rico and you're in Old San Juan, go to Booties. I can't direct you there, but just freaking Google it. I'm
Figure it
sure you'll
out.
find it. Yeah, but that place put me on. So that's the backstory of how I became a mojito person.
Interesting. Good to know,
Mm-hmm.
because I definitely did not know that story. So
Yeah, no, it's a little gem I keep in my pocket.
I see that.
So where would you say you are today when it comes to just kind of, if you have more you can share about your transitions of what you used to drink to where you are now, what does that look like?
Pretty much non-existent. I've told you, and I'm pretty sure I've told all of our listeners, my recent little vacation, and it was an all-inclusive resort. And after like the first day, I was pretty much done with the whole drinking thing. Slept like the entire trip, just being tired and just
Man,
old. And
not
I haven't
old.
really been, I guess, old. I have to admit it at some point in my life.
Whatever.
Um, and I really just don't drink like that anymore. Like the
Mm-hmm.
past, like, I don't know, year or something, like
Mm-hmm.
I just really don't drink anymore. And if I do, it's probably like, like a truly kind of like seltzer thing or
Something
whatever.
like.
But as far as like hard liquor and stuff, like maybe some rum cream, which, is kind of like Bailey's.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing, nothing too crazy, nothing too hard. And it's funny you say this too, because me and my boyfriend were actually having this conversation not that long ago, how like
Mm-hmm.
every weekend we would like take shots together and like we would make all these like crazy drinks, like fish
Mm-hmm.
bowls, and
Oh
like,
my
we would just do
gosh.
like the craziest shit. And we don't do that anymore. And I couldn't tell you when it stopped or why it stopped. That it was
Y'all
just kind of like
tired.
something we just stopped doing. And like we used to do it like every single weekend or like every time, we were together,
Right.
had some, alone time or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, no, that's just kind of like fizzled out. And now it's just kind of like, can I just get some water?
Oh my gosh, the old
Like,
married couple on the couch. One has a newspaper, the other has a crossword puzzle.
well, we don't have those things, but yeah, I don't know. So I couldn't even really tell you.
Damn,
I don't
girl.
know.
So if
And
you go
like,
out today, if you go to a restaurant, are you ordering a true? You going to see if they got Trulies?
I'll probably order like a beer
Hmm.
if I get a drink. Sometimes I don't get a drink.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I'll get a beer. Or the one thing that I can't pass up, how you love your mojitos, is that if I see a caipirinha on the menu, I am
Okay.
going
Right.
to grab that.
Can't pass that
um,
one up.
yeah, but similar story to you, right? Like I started having those when I went to the Azores in Portugal.
Mm-hmm.
And, obviously over there, like you're never going to get it the same thing here in America. So,
No.
it's never the same, but
No.
I
Yeah.
still try.
Listen, ain't nothing wrong with trying, right? Because you never know,
Exactly.
you may come across a gem. It's really funny you say that because my man and I were just talking about like places we've eaten or like a grocery store we've gotten an
Mhm.
item from and how it was so good, and then you go back and you can never get it again. It was
Mhm.
like a one-time item type of thing, or it was like the chef was only really good that day and never again the meal has tasted the same.
Yeah,
It's so weird how stuff like that happens, but yet we still continuously try.
you
Like
do
it's
try.
like, this they had this item on the shelf. Every time I go back, I look to see if it ever comes back. And it's just like that hope. It's just like having
Mhm.
hope so bad to just get the same thing. So I
Yes,
get it. There's nothing wrong with trying. It allows you to never forget also.
that is also very true. That
Mm-hmm.
is very true. Because that place that I took you to in the city,
Mm-hmm.
Benny's,
Girl.
the best Mexican food and margaritas. Girl, I
Girl.
crave that every day.
What was it? It was a barbecue chicken burrito that I had, and I don't even eat
Maybe.
chicken anymore. I think it was a barbecue. I'm feeling pretty certain because I ate it and it was really good. But I don't even eat chicken anymore. But I remember that damn burrito, and
And the
I
margaritas are
I
popping.
was I would sacrifice a moment for it if they were still open. Just saying, I would.
Yes, but you just crave it until the end of time. So I don't
Mm,
know.
Pretty much.
What I told him is that at least we've had those experiences, because then
Exactly.
we would just
very true. We have it to at least talk about and allow others to imagine what it was like.
Exactly. That's all we got.
Wow. Oh, well, that is a very interesting history. It's so funny how you guys, Cassie and I are bestest friends. Like, we've been friends for so freaking long. And this is to say, for those of you who have not been tuning with us from the very beginning, we are the bestest friends. And I did not know this bitch had her first drink that far back. And that's why she don't drink red wine. Like, I just really did not know. And it's just like, oh, wow, I just learned something new about my best friend today.
Yeah, same. I didn't know your little mojito story either.
Yeah, so.
Or actually that you stole Mama's Bailey's.
Listen, ain't nobody needed to know that. I was just kind enough to share with the world. I was going to keep it to myself, but I felt like I needed to be honest. So, because I know many of us can relate in that aspect somewhere. So
probably. Almost certain.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Well, anywho, before we go ahead and wrap up this episode for today, I wanted to check in with my friend if she has any gems to drop today.
I'm like, where is she going with this? I'm like, I don't know what you're about to ask me, or but no, I think I've dropped all the gems in this episode today.
Okay. Well, y'all, listen, if you haven't already, start enjoying your summer. Don't be like me and miss out on some good quality pool time, because Cassie's soaking it all the hell up right now. So go ahead, enjoy your summer, chill at the pool, tune into this episode, and until next time.
Bye, guys.